So there's going to be a time where you see things at different heights, like it could be a bar table like this, it could be a stair rail, it could be anything. I want to just remind you that the environment will always tell you what to do in terms of posing. So in this case, I actually didn't even tell Dylan to rest on this. I said, hey Dylan, come over here, we've got something to do over this way. And he straight away went into this particular pose. So remember that the environment will tell you what to do. And now, because he's already posed himself, I'm going to go back behind the camera and have a look and see what we've got. All right, Dylan, let's see if you're handsome on your own. You actually are. That's really cool. I actually even like what you're doing with your feet there. Do me a favor, do that exact same thing with a few little shuffles this way. So a bit in the middle, that's it. Oh, too much. I want to see your feet completely in that particular perspective. So quite like that. It's a very strong pose for a guy. Their hands are very, very strong. Just widen up those elbows there a little bit, good. And then just sort of hang the body and the face a little bit to sort of break the monotony of that. Perfect. So he's already done. He looks great. The cool thing about this is that straight away you can get into different shots. So if I did a full-length portrait of him right now and I wanted a shot to go on the other side of the album or the spread or the wall art collection, then I can quickly just go either close-up, change my angle, perspective, lens choice, and even just change the pose. So just give me your hand like this. Perfect. I love that. See, right now, actually, where's your engagement ring, dude? What's going on there? Bone of contention there, Lisa. I don't know what's going on here. But I like it because remember when we said that as far as guys are concerned, we don't want to see the thinnest part of the wrist or over here. We can do this. It's nice and strong. See, a pose for a guy, for example, this might be strong, masculine, but the minute I turn this way, I'm seeing the thinnest part of the wrist. It's a bit softer. It's a bit more of a feminine energy. But when I turn around like this, the exact same pose, now it looks masculine again. So remember that posing is not just about posing in the correct way and remembering the rules. You also have to be shooting from the correct perspective to take advantage of what you've already done. So I love that. I actually quite like the fact that we're flowing from top left to bottom right. Even in the context of where we are right now, your head is slightly off the middle of that doorway in the background. You're crossing your legs, so that breaks the monotony of your legs just being perfectly straight, and it also sinks you down a little bit to the height of the bar. So that works really well. This shot, I could easily do full length, close up. I can get you to sort of look after that camera over there. I could change my angle and it would work very, very well. So happy with that. What I want to do now is actually show you and remind you guys that when you are posing somebody, please do not waste the pose. In other words, if I wanted to nail a couple of shots of the groom here so that I've got a spread of him in the wedding album, I've got him, I've done that, fantastic. Now, don't get him out and then get the bride in. He's already standing there, now let's get the bride in. So he stays where he is. Let's see if we can just get her, I want you to drape on him this way, just like this. You won't do it as sexy as I just did, but that's okay. Yeah, love this. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. So bring the knee a little bit more this way towards me. Arch the back, sort of booty out a bit. Bend that elbow a little bit more this way. Let me have a look here. So it's funny because this hand is begging to be held. So my first instinct was that one, but you know what? I actually think this should come a little bit more this way. And it's a little bit softer. Yeah, beautiful. And now this hand's popping out of nowhere, so we'll just hide it. She's got beautiful shape there as well. Bring those shoulders back. Beautiful. Let's have a look. Love that. Now, Lisa, come a touch closer to me. Yeah, beautiful. And now turn your face into Lisa's there, mate. Good. Beautiful. So we could take a shot like that. Now, you'd probably say because it's quite emotional, as in his hands are touching, the faces are touching. Now the hand on the actual chin looks a little bit weird. I'm going to get your right arm, mate, around her body. And just bring it up a bit, so I'm not covering up the thinnest part of her waist. So bring your hand up a little bit higher still. That's it, beautiful. And then rather than point your fingers towards me, just bring them up a little bit. There you go, beautiful. So that works really well too. What I find a foundation pose for me is, in this particular context, what I love doing is something like this. So let's break it up a little bit. Lisa, what I'd like you to do is I want you to lean forward and just bring your elbow just here. Okay, so more on this side, right where I was, just right here. Yeah, that's beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. What I want to get you to do now is, do you see how in that pose that she's amputating her own hand here? That looks a little bit weird. So remember, all the shots that I'm doing, these haven't been rehearsed. Certainly I know the principles I'm about to share with you and teach you, but this could be, for example, if you pose very loosely, then you might get some problem areas like this. So you know what, Jerry, I don't really pose fully, but I just sort of give them something to do and then let them hope for the best. Well, I'm saying to you, just go that little step further. Let the emotion break the perfection if you think it's too formal. So in this case, we're going to bring this out. We're going to get your arm right around hers. I want your face right near her hand, and then turn your body more this way. Good. Now, I want this hand tickling his chin there a little bit. All right. Now, guys, even though that this is more of a close-up shot, in fact, let's go to the camera that we're at. So this particular angle actually looks really pretty on them. And in fact, I'd probably crop a little bit closer. But you can see how her hand very gently, because I've actually worked with Lisa before, she knows that beautiful, delicate hand that she's doing with that little index finger sort of coming up on the chin there, which I think is beautiful. Now, we've got to be careful because we can almost not see her right bicep. It's sort of struggling to be seen a little bit. So let's just bring your body around a little bit there, Lisa, and then bring your elbow more that way. That's it. Well, come around more this way. So your body, Lisa, come more around this way. There we go. Perfect. Good. See now, do you see how we can see a bit more of her bicep? And they're looking really beautiful together there as well. Now, his hand can be where it is like that. Like we're not after any too much finesse in that respect. That works well. Now, let's say, for example, there was a little bit of a problem here. Like she could not reach his chin, which will often happen. Then this wrist is a perfect platform to make it easier. You see how even much nicer that is? Extend your fingers a little bit more. Turn your face into hers. Chin down a little bit. Just relax that hand a little bit. Gorgeous. That beautiful. Nice and delicate. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Let's come back towards this one. And you can sort of see how that pose is just beautiful there. Everything is just falling really nicely. And again, in this position, we can kiss her temple. We can kiss her cheek. Yeah, and all the while, now turn your face to the right there for me, Lisa, all the way to your right, more. Bury your head into the neck there a little bit. Turn your face, Lisa, a bit more to the left. More, that's it. Now, do you see how the hand's looking a little bit awkward? Now her hand can go back on his hand. So your right hand, darling, so your right hand, actually that could go there as well, but bring your hand just over here. Yep. Beautiful. Actually, you probably did a better job than me here. And in this position, this would work really beautifully. And if you come a little bit closer, and then, see, the problem is, guys, this is probably a little bit lower than normal. From normal bar height, it would normally a little bit higher. So, of course, full length, it's going to be a little bit awkward and arguably clumsy. Just bring that shoulder back a little bit. That's gorgeous. And then chin up a little bit, and now just turn a little bit more towards the camera there, can see you. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's beautiful. And of course, guys, the lighting isn't perfect in this particular context, but you sort of get the idea. Now, this isn't champagne, this is Sprite. And I just want to tell you, this is a phenomenon that I want to share with you. I poured Sprite into both these glasses. This ended up perfectly with bubbles. This has nothing. And I still had no idea what that is, but anyway. And here's a tip. If the couple don't like champagne or there's no champagne around and you want to look festive and have a bit of a glass and you're looking around, what the hell's going on? Just get some water and then get a little bit of Coke and drop a bit of Coke into this and it looks like champagne. There you go. There's a tip for you. So in this context, let's get back into that pose that we did before where you put your elbow on here and on his face. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. No. So your right hand, bring it right out. You're basically doing that with your hand. No, your right hand. There you go. Yep. This was like this. So now these hands can hold glasses. Beautiful. Let's have a look at that shot. Yeah, that's beautiful. So bring the glasses up a little bit higher there, guys. Now, so to make this a little bit easier, I want you to just relax your pose a little bit there, Lisa, so that this right arm is a little bit easier. Remember that Dirty Dancing pose? This is actually a bit of a variation to that, just the fact that you've got the glass in the hand. So just relax a little bit there. Beautiful. And then Dylan, come a little bit more this way. That'll make that more comfortable. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And then just come a bit more away, Lisa, a bit more towards me. Beautiful. And then now, gorgeous. Remember, guys, we're only talking about posing right now. We're not talking about evoking emotion. This is purely just the architecture of the posing. And of course, without emotion, this would mean nothing. In this context, great. We have a great foundation. If we did see the lower part of her body, so for example, from this camera angle right now, this is where, Lisa, you would point your toe towards me, bend the knee a little bit, go the other way. There we go, beautiful. A little bit more finesse there, fantastic. And then this is where they could have a drink, they could have some fun, they could giggle, they could do what they want, and life is good. All right. So now we've actually photographed the groom on his own here. We've photographed the couple. Now we want to talk about maybe some ideas of the bride on her own. So Lisa, without thinking, just want you to rest on the table. Remember, sometimes leave your couples to basically build their own house, and like I said, let's see if it's worth renovating or building from scratch. Okay, so right now, what are we seeing? Okay, it's perfectly straight. This might be great if you want something very regal, very elegant, but the way the hands are pointing towards the camera, I feel like it's making her look a little bit boxy because I can't see her silhouette. I don't see any part of her shape from her upper body. So what I'd like you to do is turn your body a little bit this way. Good. And then come a few little steps. And I want you to just lean forward. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. In fact, do that same thing, but a few little shuffles this way. Good, just there. Do you see how straight away we actually have got shape? Now, give me the toe pointed towards me, bending the knee a little bit and shifting the weight back there a little bit. Now, this is a really important lesson. You might think, well, what do I get her to do with her hands? If she brings her hands flat on the table, bring that hand down at the moment so there's no distraction. Her hand flat on the table it doesn't match the elegance and the movement of her body that where we are now. So here's what we can do. If she brings her hand up, that looks silly. What I want you to do is mirror me. Just put it down and do this. Beautiful. We want to see air. And what we said is that if we can bend a body part, we will bend it. So now there's a little bit of air there. It's looking really beautiful. This is also now where she could either put her hand on her upper chest, as we've done a couple times. Your left hand, so bring that down. Gorgeous. Do you see how those hands are being mirrored right now? I love that gap between her wrist on her left hand and then her right is mirroring. This is also where you can just adjust your hair a little bit. Actually now, keep on going. Actually do this for me, Don. Beautiful. Love that. That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Or you can hold champagne. So let's get the one with the bubbles in it, the one that didn't have the mutation. Because if you are at a bar table height, well, then that's going to give you an idea. You're having a bit of a drink. So I want you to sort of go up to have a bit of a drink there. That's it. And you find something funny, you're giggling that way. To the right, look at Dylan, thinking, oh my God, what have you gotten me into here? There you go. Fantastic. And then we've taken some shots. Beautiful. Now, again, ignore the fact that this is somewhat of a corporate-looking table. It's just to give you an idea of that kind of height and arguably what we might be able to do in that situation. Okay. What you can also do here is actually turn her around completely. So I want you to just, yep, exactly. So just come over here and now looking over your shoulder. So just right back there. Gorgeous. Remember that table height gave us the idea of what to do. Now, her left arm is just coming out of nowhere. I'm happy to have that hand disappear into her body by the pure nature of what it is, but I just want a little bit of a bend of the elbow. A bit more. Good, beautiful. And then she can turn her face and chin up a little bit. Now, yes, is her hand being amputated? Well, that's okay on this side. This one, we're foreshortening and chopping off the hand. So we might want to just bring it like this, come a couple of steps this way. And then now we get the length of that hand and that arm. It's contained in the shape of her body there a little bit. Bring that left elbow out a little bit. This one. Too much? Just come back a bit. Down, 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 and then relax a little bit. Gorgeous. Fantastic. And now we've got a great shot there as well. The cool thing is that once you do these kinds of shots, don't waste them again. I would simply get the groom to come back. So let's get the groom to come back. So come, I want you to face her perfectly. Just hold her around the waist. Just like this. And then that hand has got somewhere to go. foreheads touching. And I love this because it's actually a little bit more about the groom than the bride, but I want to see a bit more of her back. So bring your shoulder in there for me, Lisa. That's it, gorgeous. And now, see if you can just kick your heel out, your right heel, out of the dress. Actually, no, bring it back, Lisa. I want to bring it out a little bit. And I would come here. And then just bring your toe a little bit closer in. There you go, just a little bit. And this is a great way of also showing off the shoes without just, putting the shoes on a bed and photographing them. Then bending that knee a little bit. So bring that heel up a little bit. Yeah, love that. That's gorgeous. And in this position, I feel like they should be giggling a little bit. So Lisa, turn your face a little bit towards me. Yeah, look at me, Lisa. Tilt. Chin up a little bit. You're kissing her on the cheek. She's giggling. Beautiful. Fantastic. Relax. I love that. I love the fact that we can very quickly turn a shot that we just started very, very static like this. And then all of a sudden, this just table height gave us all the ideas. So sometimes we're overthinking it. It's just how would you lean on a bench? And even this, for a guy, for example, I'm feeling good like this. This could be Dylan's pose over here like that. In fact, the more I'm doing it, I'm like, I should just show you guys what's going on here. So do this on me, Dylan, just like that. So he looks awesome like that. And the cool thing about this kind of a pose is that we can quickly do a foreground background shot. So let's say we're featuring the groom and I want Lisa in the background. So forgive the poor lighting now on Lisa, but this is where she could be like this and turn around right like this, hold your hands in front of you together, and then just push your hip towards the door, look over your shoulder back at your man. And let's have a look and see what this looks like. Yeah, I love that. I think that looks really cool. In fact, the more I look at this, if this was the exact shot and someone put a gun to my head and said, you can't recompose, this is what you have to do, the lighting is actually not too bad on that pillar. So Lisa, I've changed my mind here. Can you go up against that pillar for me? Or pillar. Now, go on that side of it. Good. Turn your body that way. Good. And now come a bit more over the pillar. So right up against the wall and on the pillar at the same time. That's good. Shift your butt towards the pillar there, right on that wall. Good. Hold your hands together very softly like that. Good. Tilt your head, chin up a little bit. And now we have this gorgeous sort of editorial kind of a shot, which I absolutely love. And again, he just stays there. Now, I can do a shot with the bride looking in the camera. I can do a shot of the groom sort of looking off. I can get a shot of now the bride. I want you to hug him from behind, but come a bit more on this side of his hip. So come on this side. Oh, your hands are about to go somewhere else then. So come a little bit more in front of him. So you're sort of, you're more on the side there. There we go. Good. So we're not going to waste it. That's beautiful. So I love that. Now, your left hand, I want to see on the other side of his arm. So there you go. And yep, beautiful. Just relax a little bit there for me. Good. Just let it sink in. That's gorgeous. Love that. So again, this is more about the groom than the bride, but it's nice and soft. And if I want to finesse the body, of course, I'll point the toe towards me, bend the knee, shift the weight. Beautiful, nice and close. Or even, you could do something a bit more fashionable, a bit more risque. Not so risque per se, but more editorial. So I'm going to get you right back here. I'm going to get you back to back. I want you to rest your body weight on him. And I want you to frame your face with your hand, this one. Good, and then that one over the other hand. So you see how his back gave me the idea of the pose. And they fit in really well together. Love that. That looks really, really cool. Like he could look off in this way, the bride could look at me, and now we've got a shot. This is not really meant to be romantic, but I love the way she just fits like a puzzle into his body in the background there as well. Or she could just put her hands down. Just bring your hands down and just let them relax and then slightly bend your elbows there a little bit. Gorgeous. Beautiful. All right, relax. That's fantastic. All right, so now what we'll do, we are going to lower the height of this table as if this was just like a normal dining table, and then give you a couple of variations on what we can do at a lower height.